Hey guys, JonTaun for Total Brohammer here, and today it's time to get a little payback on old DahvPlays. I'm playing some Lizardmen today, and he is playing the Vampire Counts. And this is the semifinals of Shadow Online Gaming's YouTuber tournaments. Like I said, I'm fighting Dahv. Both of their channels will be linked in the description. Let's go over army compositions. Alright, so I actually made a big mistake when making my army the first time. I broke the rules. So I had brought two Sword Veteran on Carnosaur, which actually isn't allowed to have two mounted Carnosaurs. So Dahv was able to see my army and was able to change his army, but I had to keep my army almost entirely the same except for the reallocation of that Scar Veteran Carnosaur. So I decided to go with a Scar Veteran and a Chameleon Skink for some poison action. The rest of my army is, like you see, the second Scar Veteran here on top of the Carnosaur. I got a Salon Mage Priest of High Magic, and I had to keep him the same. I did have Tempest for some Terrorgeist. The first time we played, he did have Terrorgeist, but unfortunately for me, he was able to build around that. And as you can see, he went with no flying, so that Tempest is going to be useless. My army consists of 2 Temple Guards, 5 Swords Warrior with shields, and yeah, just this little core I have right here. So pretty simple. These guys are just gonna have to grind through a bunch of undead here. Dahv, on the other hand, has gone with some Direwolves over here. He's got some Blood Knights over on his right flank and left flank. He's got a front line of intermixed Skeleton Spearmen, Skeleton Warriors. Looks like all Skeleton Warriors and Spearmen, huh? Got some Varix Reavers and Dire Pack over here. He's got a regular Morse Engine as well as a Master Necromancer on foot with a Banshee and a Horse Cart with Unholy Lodestone. So a very interesting army. His infantry is not going to do too much. He's relying pretty much all on the Morse Engine and his ability to cycle charge. So let's see how that does. Alright, so I'm just going to be moving up a little bit. And at this point I'm not feeling great because he saw my army. First time he had Terrorgeist, and now he doesn't. I had the tools to deal with Terrorgeist, but yeah, so I'm not feeling great. I felt like the double Temple Guard, the High Salon, and the 2 Scar Veterans would be able to deal with Terrorgeist really well, as well as support of the Chameleon Skinks. I'm moving over to the left flank just so that I don't have to fight all his army at once. He is very wide, so I'm going to move over and try to use this mountain right here as a barrier to kind of funnel in his troops so I don't have to fight his entire army at once. And we'll see how that works out for me. So as you can see, I have my Temple Guard in the front at first because to ward off cycle charging. As you see, it's done pretty good here. He's going to throw his Dire Pack into here. I'm going to turn around and decide to engage on them. But he is coming in with some Blood Knights. However, these guys get pounded so hard, he's just going to go ahead and pull out of there. I'm going to get my Temple Guard to come work on these Blood Knights as well as the Scar Veteran. And I'm just, yeah. See, he's got several units out here that he's not going to be fighting with. Moving my Temple Guard over this way, seeing that he's moving his cavalry to the right flank here. So just hanging out here. I'm going to engage across the front line with my Saurus Warrior. They should make pretty quick work of skeletons. He is going to have the support of the Master Necromancer. It's actually on a horse. Of the Master Necromancer and of course the Morse Engine. I think the Morse Engines are OP. I think that's a unit that needs to be in melee combat to have its little training effect. Just going to try to run in through the front here. Let's see how much damage that does. Really lackluster. Did a little bit, but not a lot. Over here, it's going to throw in his Varix Reavers. I'm going to throw in my Scar Veteran, seeing that these guys are not anti-large. I'm going to have my Temple Guard try to get on these Blood Knights, but he's going to block them up with spears. Very good play on his part. Now, the Salon Mage Priest of High Magic actually has magic damage, so I actually should have tried and sent him after this Banshee. He's going to pop Vine Hill Stance Macabre on this Banshee and try to get in here on my Scar Veteran. I'm just going to pull out. I don't want any of that. And I'm going to pull in these Temple Guards to start killing a bunch of these Varix Reavers, as well as this other Scar Veteran. Going to pop a Apotheosis on these Saurus Warriors with shields, unfortunately, as they retreat here. And over on the left flank, you know, these Saurus Warriors, it's going to take them a while because of, you know, unbreakable units, but they're eventually going to break it through here. The cycle charging of the Blood Knights is honestly, they're taking a lot more damage than you would expect. They are breaking through my Saurus Warriors with shields up in the front line here, so that's very unfortunate for me. Over here, it's just a massive blob. I got my Lord in here, got the Scar Veterans, we got a bunch of Temple Guard. Honestly, I just need to pull these Temple Guard back and collapse right here, and right now, I'm not feeling too good about it. Thankfully, these Saurus Warriors come back here. I'm going to run in here and try to get a real quick hit on the Mortis engine. Or actually what I'm going to do is try to break these guys to free up these Source Warrior. Because I really need to free up some of my guys here. So these Temple Guard are just holding off all these Skeleton Warriors. I'm going to actually send this Scarvet after the Banshee. As you can see, he gets some really good hits and does some really good damage. But I should have remembered the magic damage the Salon Mage Priest could have been really useful there. So, looks like he's breaking through my center here. Got some Source Warrior rampaging, gonna pop an Apotheosis on these guys. Try to keep them in the fight as long as possible. Trying to break these guys so that I can free up these Source Warriors. I really need them to get freed out. These Source Warriors are coming back, fortunately for me. Over here, the Temple Guard are doing pretty good, and the Banshee actually drew the Source Scar Veteran into the Spearman, and now he's not doing too well, though we both do have a lot of buffs on right now. So yeah, I'm gonna pop Arcane and Forging on that hoe. She's magic, so that should kill her pretty good. I'm gonna collapse with these Temple Guard. Over here, almost got rid of the Skeleton Warriors. Gonna draw my Source Guard Veteran into the Source Warriors of Shield, as the Blood Knights aren't gonna go do too well against them. Thankfully for me, though, we do indeed break the Skeleton Spearman, but here come a bunch of his cav to try and pin down this Source Guard Veteran, which is a really good choice on his part. I have my Command Skinks shooting at the Mortis engine here, and over here we killed the Banshee, but my Temple Guard are just held up on a bunch of units that are fodder, basically. So these Source Warriors are going to be intercepted by these zombies that should be running away, and these Source Warriors are fighting valiantly, but they are just surrounded by cav right now. Popping a Cold-Blooded on the Source Scar Veteran, since I see that he's not particularly engaged by a lot of infantry at the moment, and he was taking a lot of damage. Any moment now, I'm going to go ahead and get him out here and pull him this way. So we got some zombie sums coming up. I use my own Source Warriors to block a lot of those charges, and I'm going to try to just get out of here, because that is not a good situation. We're cleaning up this side of the battlefield. Now, if he basically just has a few token infantry left, but basically it's just his cav, his Mortis engine, and his Master Necromancer here. I'm going to be pulling out here. We are being slowed by the poison of the Dire Pack, I do believe. Huh? Maybe not. But we got the mass to actually pull through here, and the cav's just going to kind of walk along. We're poisoning these Blood Knights, but my Source Scar Veteran is actually able to get away from all this, fortunately for me. So, you know, at this point, I'm like, well, he has mostly cav left. All I have to do is sit on top of my my fairly healthy Temple Guard here, and oh, I win. And that's basically just what I'm going to do. Now, he does still have this Mortis engine, so he can still do some sneaky stuff here. He's getting some good drainage over here. I need to try to take out this Mortis engine, so you'll see in a second here, these two Source Scar Veterans are gonna start doing some stuff against that hoe. Dav is going to kind of do a retreat and try to form back up over here. As you can see, the Dire Pack is going to be going after these Chameleon Skinks. I think the Chameleon Skinks should be able to beat the Dire Pack at this point. They are indeed going to turn around. I got some rampaging Source Warrior fighting some summoned zombies over here. These Source Warrior have come back to the battlefield. Lizardmen might as well be unbreakable. Came after the Mortis engine here. He got a good charge with the Ferex Reavers. And here come all these guys, but I just got a bunch of Temple Guard here, so unless he's really on point with his cycle charging, I think we'll be pretty good. So I'm going to pop a Apotheosis on my Scar Veteran and also pop a spell, but unfortunately everything moves out by then, so I'm just going to pull all my guys away so I don't do friendly fire. And yeah, waste of a spell. In fact, a little bit of friendly fire perhaps, so yeah. Not a good use, but what can you do? I'm going to pop that just in case it hits one of my guys. Over here, I'm going to be chasing his Lord. I'm not too afraid of his cavalry. He has Ferex Reavers, not anti-large. The Blood Knights that he has are all very weak. Looks like the other unit of Blood Knights actually went off. No, they're actually chasing my Chameleon Skinks, which I think is a bad choice. But at this point, yeah, it's looking pretty bad. I have a lot of Temple Guard, like I said, and now we're going after the Corpse Guard. My Salon Mage Priest of High Magic's in great condition, and spells are being very useful, especially this Apotheosis and healing. Lizardmen healing, OP. I even have some Source Warrior doing pretty good here, so it's pretty much over at this point. My little heroes are in 2 good of health, and my Temple Guard are too. So he's going to come in for the final charge here on these Blood Knights. Actually going to be trying to pull out here. Dav does not give up, not want to give up, but these Blood Knights are indeed crumbling. Basically, I'm just going to wait for him here. He's going to try to finish off these Blood Knights, and then probably, I think he reforms and tries to come back. Pop a Blood Statuette of Spite on these guys. Going to be running in with my Sword Scar Veteran, just trying to get him to engage so I can just finish this already. And we're finally going to start hitting that Mortis Engine. Man, that Vampire healing is good. Take care of these Vex Reavers and his Lord, and at that point his army is indeed going to crumble. So game 1, JonTaun vs. Dav, of semifinals of Shadow Online Gaming's tournament. JonTaun does come away with a win. Don't know why I'm talking about myself in third person. Alright, but let's look at the unit breakdown here. So, Sword Scar Veteran, and one of them killed a Banshee, one of them did good damage in the end. Just keeping them alive was very good. The charges around did a good job at taking down Skeleton Warriors. I gotta say, Skeleton Warriors and Spearman Frontline, they held out a lot longer than you think they would against Source Warriors. Source Warriors over here, all getting a huge amount of kills, as you'd expect. Same thing with the Temple Guard. Wings Kings weren't able to do that much, but yeah, pretty okay army, I think, against the Vampires. Expecting some Terrorgeist action. Dav decided to actually go really wide, which is probably a good idea, but Blood Knights are just not what they used to be, and they just can't do good damage to single entity targets anymore. You gotta bring single entity targets to fight single entity targets nowadays. Cavalry just doesn't get good surrounds. I don't know what it is. They could do it in game 1, but not in game 2. So yeah, Master Necromancer, okay. Yeah, I was just putting everything on his Mortis Engine in his cab, and it just didn't work out for him. In any case, a very good game to DahvPlays over here. Like I said, links in the description to both DahvPlays channel as well as Shadow Online Gaming's. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace, guys.